Live on a beautiful Wednesday evening, October the 1st, in Northeast Ohio. It is time for the ultimate Cleveland Guardian show. Yesterday, Zach had baseball behind him on the TV, the Yankees and Red Sox, and today he's watching all the hot news from pop stars around the world. On the red carpet, are you locked into this, Zach, or are you still into baseball?
Do you have any opinions, any thoughts on Selena Gomez's wedding?
I don't know. Like, Benny Blanco outkicked his coverage by about 50 yards. What happened there?
Taylor Swift's new album drops in 2 days. I know you're excited for that.
Oh, yes, I'm a Swiftie. I'm going to be at the concert. No, I'm not. Definitely not. But it is time to talk about the Guardians of the Ultimate Cleveland Guardian Show. Well, this is not a season-ending Cleveland Guardians show. Thankfully, the Guardians explode for 5 runs in the 8th inning after scoring just 2 runs on very few hits in their first 16 innings and win game 2 by a score of 6-1. Obviously, one of the big storylines in this game at the end was Cade Smith and his usage. We'll get into that later. I talked about it on the podcast, and I'm fascinated to hear what you're going to say and your thoughts about this. So we'll get to that later, but let's go back to the beginning before the game even started when we heard Chase DeLauter was going to be in the lineup, and the lineup we hoped would happen, Zach, actually came to fruition today.
Yeah, man, we talked about this as far back as what, like Sunday? I'm trying to think. We've been on a nice little run here of consecutive days with an episode. But, this has been telegraphed for a few days now, and he got a crash course in center field, and they weren't gonna spend that much time practicing with him and prepping him for the elements if they weren't gonna actually do this, right? So I don't know about you, Bull, but I saw the lineup come out today, and I was like, no notes. This is great. This is what it should be. They're prioritizing offense over everything. We talked yesterday about how they prioritized the platoon advantage over things. And it was, well, you're right-handed, so you must be able to hit lefties, even though Jhonkensy Noel and Jonathan Rodriguez haven't really done that all year. So it helps that they're facing right-handed pitchers. They'll get another one tomorrow. If they're fortunate enough to advance, they'll get a bunch of them in Seattle because Seattle doesn't have a left-handed starter. But that's a conversation for tomorrow. The main point here is that lineup looks so much better when there's a righty on the mound. And you actually just have confidence that these guys are going to deliver, right? Like it's like Valera has looked great all month. CJ Kayfus has looked pretty good, especially over the last few weeks. And, we've seen Manzardo develop. You've seen Rocchio this time of year. It just feels more attainable. To me, I know they scored 6 runs. They didn't have very many hits. Like, it was ugly again for 7 innings. But to me, a big part of that was like the conditions. It was tough to hit with the wind at Manzardo. That would have been a home run if not for the wind blowing directly in the first inning. Then the shadows come. And I understand, like, both teams have to face these elements. But I just have more confidence that this team's left-handed hitters are going to do it than the lineup that they trot out there against a left-handed pitcher.
It's funny that you say that. You said right in the beginning of that rant there about how, like, I don't know about you, but like I had no notes on the lineup. I said this morning, this is the most excited I've been about a Guardians lineup in, like, I don't know, I don't remember what I said, 4 or 5 years. I mean, I had no complaints. I was completely happy with the lineup, and I get it. Kayfus is still Kayfus, Valera, very unproven. They haven't played a lot. But you said it. They both played well so far since they've been here. And you talk about DeLauter hadn't played at all, but he's a top prospect. You just looked at the names, and who knows how good any of those guys are going to end up being. Even Manzardo, it's only been 1 full year. But you looked at the names, and I'm like, well, that guy could hit a home run, and that guy could hit a home run, and that guy could hit a home run, and that guy. And the only guy I didn't mention was Rocchio, who hit one of the home runs, which is funny. But it's like it felt like a real lineup. I know unproven, but at least it's guys that you're legitimately excited about. And that was a lot of fun starting the day.
It's guys with pedigree, right? Yeah. They were top picks or top prospects or had some huge seasons in the minors. And, with DeLauter, like, doesn't that tell you how high they are on his bat? That the first instance that he's healthy, they're like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a playoff game. That's an elimination game. Get out there, right? So that says a lot. Like, that should give you confidence. I don't want to talk about next year, but like, that could be the strength of the team. Like, there's enough. You add Bazana and Brito to the mix, Cooper Ingle. Like, there are finally some hitters coming, and it's not just because I know that this organization hasn't developed hitters, but they've prioritized hitters in the draft, in international free agency, and to a point where now, if you look at their top prospects list, it's all hitters at the top. So, maybe that finally turns into something, and maybe this is like the foreshadowing. This is like the prologue to the book. But like, DeLauder had great at bats. He looked really good. He worked an 8-pitch walk to start, and he had another 8-pitch at bat that ended in a ground out, and then he hit one 111 miles an hour for a line out into the wind to center. Like, and I know he had the error on the second play of the game. But
the throw he makes, I mean, that was a huge play in the game.
Absolutely.
And we'll get to that play in a minute. But like, I look at DeLauder and I look at Manzardo and I look at Kefis and I look at Valera, and I'm like, those guys are ball players, right?
Yes.
They just have a look of ball players. Like, I don't know. It's not like some of these
They're
other
not
guys.
5'8" second baseman. That's what this team was hoarding for years.
Oh, they had a million pipsqueaks, and now they got some big fellas. I like it. And I know John Kenzie's a big guy too, but he's a mess. He can't hit. But I love this lineup, and I love the fact, I know he eventually pinch hit for Valera, but I love that, like, DeLauder got his at-bats. I thought as soon as they went to the lefty, he might take DeLauder out, but he let him face the lefty the first time. And I thought that was great because, like, he's got to realize, like, John Rodriguez and Noel should not play in the series again. He should not play in the playoffs again. He should be off the roster. He is completely useless. I mean, whereas, like, these guys, like Kefis, DeLauder, Valera, like, give them opportunities against lefties because I think they're much better ball players than the other guys. And even though, and it's like, and we'll get to, I thought the Tigers were AJ Hinch pinch hitting for Riley Green. I thought that was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in a playoff game.
I mean, that's comparable.
Insane,
It's comparable to hitting Jonathan Rodriguez cleanup.
I mean,
right? I mean, it's. I understand wanting to have the platoon advantage and playing the matchups and things like that, but the point here is, like, good hitters should just be good hitters. Yeah. I understand, like, Kerry Carpenter's disparity against lefties versus righties is huge, and Riley Green, he's a left-handed. Like, the Guardians were trying to get a lefty in there every single time he came up to the plate. But I'm with you. Like, the whole strategy here, the reason why the Tigers pulled Casey Mize in the fourth inning was they wanted to go to their lefties. They had Holton, they had Herter, and this is what I think the Guardians might do tomorrow, where if you go Slade Ciccone, you have a righty up, so they'll go with Carpenter, they'll go with Green.
Yeah.
And then you'll flip it to Joey Cantillo at some point, and suddenly the Tigers have to make a decision. Do we pinch hit for our left-handed power hitters against the left-handed pitcher? Do we stick with our guys? And it was important that the Guardians stuck with their guys, because otherwise you've got Rodriguez and Noel in there for 6 innings, and you might never score. So
and remember last year he did that with Manzardo. He pulled him out early, and I didn't like it.
Will Brennan started a game in the playoffs and didn't bat. They pinch hit for him before his first at bat.
But and the thing is, like, taking Riley Green out in that situation, when that spot in lineup is very likely coming up at least one more time.
Yeah.
It, to me, and listen, I know you are well versed in analytics, and I am all in on analytics. It's an important part of baseball. But I will never forget what Theo Epstein said after the Cubs won the World Series. There was a book about it, and it's the one thing I remember for the book. He says, I didn't become the best I could at being a general manager until I realized that you have to mix analytics with the heart. I'm misquoting it probably a little bit, but basically, like, you can't make every decision based on statistics. Not every decision. And taking Riley Green, who's been your best player, he's their best player, for Jahmai, and I know Jahmai Jones has done a nice job against lefties.
Yeah, he's got a good year.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's DeLauder he hit everybody well this year. He hit lefties really well. It's always going to be small samples with him because he's never healthy for a long enough period. But the faith the team has, the organization has in him. Jason Lloyd's was writing about him today and was talking to Petey Halpin, who said he's the best hitter I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So that speaks.
By the way, rumor has it, sorry to cut you off, but rumor has it Jason was mistaken for Stephen Vogt in the locker room.
You already heard about this? Yeah.
I have heard about this.
I was talking to Nolan Jones about something, and Nolan Jones told me to wait for a second and sprinted over to tell Jason he thought, because George Valero was holding court, there was a scrum of reporters, and Jason was in there, and Nolan and some teammates thought it was Stephen Vogt standing in the reporter scrum interviewing George Valero. So,
how do they – I don't think Jason looks that much like that.
Side profile, maybe the beard. Yeah, I don't know if Vogt would appreciate that if he was pointing out to him.
No. That's funny. But anyway, we were talking about the Lauder, and that play made, like, after making that error in the first, and then Bybee works around it. Did a great job getting out of that first, second, nobody out with the 3 strikeouts. But that throw he made to third.
Yeah.
First of all, I can't believe they overturned that. They must have had, I don't know how many, like, if you were able to watch the TV that much, you're at the game, obviously. But there was nothing on TV I saw that definitively said he was out. I was shocked that they overturned it. They must have had an angle in Secaucus or wherever they do this from that showed it, because we on TV there was nothing that showed it definitively.
Yeah, and it feels like they've had a bunch of those go against them.
Yeah,
like in the last month or two of the season, where there's a few times where Stephen Vogt's just been like, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like,
yeah, right, yeah.
But yeah, it's that was enormous. I did not think that was going to get overturned for the same reason. Like, I didn't see an angle that made me feel like, oh, that's definitely
right. Yeah.
And you think about how that changed. Like, first of all, the ballpark was silent when that happened.
Yeah.
Just sucked the energy out of the stadium. Tigers would go up 2-1. Cleveland showed no signs of hitting until the 8th inning. And
they would have still had runners at second and third.
They would have had second and third. Yeah. Top of the order. So
I mean, one more hit there, it's a 4-1 game.
Yeah, it's over.
Right.
But that's also like, this is, I don't know how you feel when you're watching these games. The tension, man.
Oh my God.
I spent a while talking to Austin Hedges and David Fry and Bo Naylor after the game about just the pressure you feel in a series like this. It's best of 3. Yesterday's game was like one little thing goes differently, and the Guardians win that, right?
Yep.
Like, and today for 7.5 innings, one little thing goes differently, and the Guardians lose. And so that puts a lot of pressure on you. It's all of a sudden you go from. I felt like in the middle innings, it just felt like the Tigers were going to win that game. They just kept getting base runners on every inning. How about Tim Herron coming out of the pen? 2 awesome strikeouts to neutralize a threat there in the 6th. And suddenly you go from that to now it's like, oh, Guardians just have to win tomorrow, and they get their A lineup in there, and they're off to Seattle. It's like, it's crazy. These 3-game series, man, it's just like, I know it used to be 1 game, winner take all, but those also felt a little different because you just stack your roster for 1 game. And
I love this. It's intense. I love it. By the way, the Guardians tomorrow will play at either 108 or 308. If there was a chance earlier today they could play at 708 with the Padres beating the Cubs. That's out the window. The Red Sox and Yankees are tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th. If the Yankees win that game, then the Guardians will play at no. If the Red Sox win the game, the Guardians will play at 308 tomorrow. If the Red Sox win the game, because that series will be over.
Yeah. If there's 4 games tomorrow, they play at 1. If there are 2 or 3, they play at 3.
That's right. So either way, it'll be an afternoon game. I'm sure fans would rather have 3 than 1, but whatever. So that's the story. But that inning, like the Guardians, the Valera home run had been their only extra base hit for 16 innings, right? And then you get in that inning, you got home run from Rocchio, home run from Naylor, a double from Kwan, a double from Schneemann. We talked before the series. If the Guardians are going to make a big run, They've got to produce. They've got to have home runs, power, extra base hits from, guys besides Ramirez. I mean, you want Ramirez to do it too, and that's exactly what happened. The 3 home runs, Valera, Naylor, and Rocchio, a double from Kwan and a double from Schneemann. That was a great inning, that 8th inning, and hopefully it helps build the confidence for the lineup heading into tomorrow.
I mean, you got the righty on the mound, so that helped. It's funny, like it's inexplicable how Rocchio does this. The playoff Rocchio memes, Roketober, but it's become real. Like it's been like a joke online, and then like now it's in the clubhouse, and Austin Hedges is awarding the championship belt to playoff Rocchio.
He crushed that ball.
He got a tip from a pretty good source named Jose Ramirez, who told him to hunt the fastball, and Jose was predicting in the dugout he'd hit a home run. So that's what happened. And but yeah, I mean, Rocchio went into the game saying, "We got to hit the ball on the ground today, guys, because the wind is blowing in. It's really strong." Yeah. Well, 7 innings of trying that didn't work. Yeah. So he said, "All right, let's change the approach." And Bo Naylor, obviously, you take the lead, you exhale. Bo Naylor adding the exclamation point.
Yeah.
That helped a lot.
All right. Now we got to talk about the one storyline that has every Guardians fan worried, and that's Cade Smith. So in the 8th inning, they go to why am I drawing a blank? Who started the 8th inning? Junis, thank you. Yeah. So Junis starts the 8th, gives up a base runner. There's 2 outs. Now it's at the time it's a tie game. So they decide to bring in Cade Smith to get the final out of the 8th. Now, hindsight being 2020, you wish that Cade Smith had not been brought in, because then it would have been very simple. They bring in Cade Smith. He gets the final out. He, of course, threw, I think, 20 pitches yesterday.
17, I think.
17, right. You're right. He gets the final out. Now, the Guardians score the 5 runs. There's a part of me, as we go to the 9th inning, saying, oh, man, they should probably take Cade. Like, there's a part of me that's like, the I'm not the manager and take my emotion out of it. Like, they're not going to score. I know they're out of their good bullpenners. So Matt Festa's got to be able to get 3 outs, right? And you could save. And Cade Smith now is fresh as a daisy for tomorrow. But I understand that no manager in this situation, nobody, is taking Cade Smith out of this game. It's not happening. Steve Becker's trying to argue this with me on text, and I'm like, Steve, I get it. I had the same thought. There's part of me that's like, you're probably going to be all right. But and if they had still had maybe Herron, Sabrowski, Gaddis, even Junis, if any of those guys had been available, maybe, probably not, but maybe. But can you imagine if he had taken out Cade Smith and they had given up 5 runs and they'd lost that game? People would be killing him. They'd be killing him. How the hell do you take the guy out? Now, it's unfortunate he wasn't crisp in that inning. You had the hit by pitch with 2 strikes. The Rocchio makes the error. He ends up throwing 33 pitches, so now he's throwing 50 pitches in 2 days. Ultimately, though, I can't fault Stephen Vogt for leaving Cade Smith in. What say you?
It's tough.
Very tough.
You're right. Like, I have no hesitation if Gaddis is still available, if Sabrowski's available. Yeah. I'm looking for guys who throw strikes. Like, Herron would have scared me if that's the move, just because you never quite know. Yeah. Festa, guy pitches every day. There was like one day where he did give up 5 runs. I'm trying to remember who it was against. You're right. Like, every manager would have done. I know for a fact Terry Francona would have kept Cade Smith in
100%.
And you're just hoping it's you tell Cade, look, we're up 5, just throw strikes and make it quick. So you're right. Like, the hit batter with 2 strikes, the weird Rocchio play there.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that he had to work as much as he did. Vogt sounded confident that Cade would be available tomorrow.
Okay. All right, 50 pitches.
You worry about it, though, because he pitched so much in the playoffs last year, and I remember the 3rd straight day against the Yankees, Stanton just crushed him, and he was throwing his velo is way down.
And he wasn't crisp tonight. I mean, he wasn't crisp in that ninth inning.
No. So,
yeah.
But what are you going to do? You know, it's tough because last year the formula was just get it to those 4 relievers. You had Herron, you had Gaddis, you had Clase, and you had Smith. And those 4 guys could cover 6 innings, and those 4 guys pitched every day.
Yeah.
And the formula is different this year, right? And now you're thinking about tomorrow, and it's like, okay, you know, you can go to Gaddis for an inning on a 3rd straight day. You can go to Sobrowski, and they've like been mixing and matching, and like guys you'll get the final out of an inning and the first out of the next inning. And it's a way to like keep guys a little more fresh and not throw as many pitches, and also not have to stay in for 3 batters, if you've noticed. Right. So you can utilize your lefties to your advantage more. I'm thinking tomorrow's got to be Slade Ciccone twice through the order, and then Joey Cantillo flip the lineup.
Yeah.
And protect yourself. Like, you can't be trying to stitch together 5 more innings from your pen, because I don't know that Cade Smith can give you more than 15 pitches. I don't know that Hunter Gaddis can give you 20. You know what I mean? Like, so I think.
I mean, you can't bring in Cade Smith before the 9th tomorrow.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
And listen, in a perfect world, they score 1 million runs tomorrow, and you don't have to worry about it. And you get, Ciccone, they put up a 5 spot in the first inning, and then Ciccone goes 4 innings, and Cantillo goes 3 or 4, and you wrap it up with Gaddis and whatever. But it's going to be. Listen, but ultimately, you can't worry about tomorrow when you have to win today, and that's the situation they were in.
Yeah.
And so it's.
I mean, what happens if Festa is not sharp, and then you've got Cantillo and Allard? Those are your options to survive today.
Yeah. Wonder if he thought about bringing in Cantillo in that inning.
I think they want him tomorrow, though. I really think.
Yeah, no, I know.
I think Ciccone's going to have a pretty short leash.
Yes.
And I think you go to Cantillo at the first sign of trouble.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. I wonder, would it make sense? I guess he's not going to do it. I'm thinking they usually bat, like they've got Meadows 1, and then Carpenter hits 3, and
Green 5th.
Green 5. Like, do you consider starting Sobrowski as an opener?
No, I mean, they've actually.
I'm sorry, or Herron, even,
You would just do Cantillo in that case, but you have to announce who you're starting ahead of time. And the Tigers have hit lefties better this season. They were about league average against righties. They were about 15% better than league average against lefties. So if they know ahead of time and can set their lineup against the lefty, then they benefit. But if they set the lineup against the righty,
right,
then you bring in the lefty, and that's when
the
Tigers are faced with the same conundrum that Stephen Vogt was faced with today.
I think the Guardians should run out the exact same lineup tomorrow. Do you think they will?
Agree. I think they will, yeah. Why not?
I think they should. All right, let's get some comments from the fans here. Zach Huffman says, Bull said it yesterday on UCSS, and he is 100% right as usual. Other guys like Roque. Oh, thank you, Zach Huffman. I appreciate that. I'm right as usual.
Is that your burner again?
It might be. As other guys like Roque, Kefis, Valera got to step up, and now the same thing has to happen with the bullpen if Cade Smith can't go. Yeah, I was thinking this afternoon that maybe Cade Smith, that he would not pitch him tomorrow through 50 pitches, but it's the playoffs. The good news is you'll get Friday off, but I mean,
if it doesn't go well, you've got 4 months off. So
that's true. You got to win the game. That's it. And listen, in a perfect world, Cade Smith only pitches once between tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, right? Because hopefully you can either not use him in game 3 or not. You have to use him in game 1 against Seattle, plus the off day, give him 2 of the 3 days off. We'll see if that happens.
Seattle's close to his hometown of Abbotsford, British Columbia, so he'll have tons of family there if they advance. That'll jazz him up. He'll want to pitch.
Yeah. Guy who produces my podcast was very excited because he's Canadian, so he's very excited about Cade Smith. 1980 Rules says playoff Rocchio, B Skrills, and now go Guardians. CDL is due for a solo home run. I predicted he would have a double today. I was wrong. I thought that line drive when it first went off the bat was going to be a double.
Yeah,
and he got and it got caught. By the way, 3-3 Red Sox Yankees in the 7th. I don't really like the Red Sox, but I, as you know, despise the Yankees. So I'm really hoping that the Red Sox take care of business. You know who's had a great bounce back season this year? Trevor Story.
Yeah.
He's 2 for 3 tonight with 3 ribbies and a home run. Knocked in all 3 runs. Anyway, let's see. 1980 rules. Love an October playoff win in Cleveland. Bombi 1138. Checking to see if he's not a bot. Who's not a bot? We got this. Patrick, Colby Allard, 2-inning save tomorrow afternoon evening to put a bow on the series. This is not
what
sarcasm.
show is on behind me? Yeah. Well, Allard, hey, remember when he came in the series finale in Detroit 2 weeks ago, and they were up 3-1, and he threw a scoreless 8th inning. You know, sometimes you need guys to step up.
That's right. Let's see. 1980 rules. When we only had 2 hits in the 7th, I thought we were screwed. Yeah, it was funny. I went on Twitter like right after the game when I was getting ready to do my podcast, and I had seen some tweets that I hadn't been. I've been trying to mostly avoid Twitter except when we're doing the shows, and I saw that a bunch of people were tweeting at me during the game like, Guardians suck, they can't hit. Blah, blah, blah. And then a few people were like, well, scratch that when they had that one big inning, obviously. Let's see. Evan 419. Oh shit, we alive? You might think Zach is still at the stadium. Nah, that's his bedroom. That is Zach's bedroom. You're right. That would be a night.
You know what show is on behind me? I can't even tell.
I have no idea. What is this? Oh, this is this new show with Tim Allen, right? It looks awful.
Why does he need this?
I don't know. And that's the girl. That girl used to be on that show where she worked as a waitress at a diner. I find her annoying, this girl. I don't know why. I mean, I don't watch any. Do you watch any shows on network TV?
Yeah, but I don't want to say.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing. What do you watch? Like Dancing with the Stars or something?
No, but
that's something in that vein. Oh my God, Zach, I can't believe it.
Yeah, my wife and I were like, look, I sit here and I watch these super tense baseball games, and I stress about what to write, and I got to ask tough questions, and sometimes I need to go home and just watch the mess. Right. Okay,
I'm telling you, watch. This is 10, so it won't help you relax. But Black Rabbit on Netflix right now, excellent show.
Sounds like an off-season project.
Yes. Definitely watch it though with what's his name, Jason Bateman, and can't remember the other guy's name. He's a really good actor. Let's see. Dog, does Sobrowski close now that Cade and Gaddis are likely out? Well, Zach just told you Cade is not out, and I didn't assume Gaddis would not be out.
Yeah, I don't think Gaddis threw a ton of pitches, so I think they'll be fine.
Let's see. Gaddis today threw how many pitches? Gaddis threw 20 today, and let's see what he pitched yesterday. Let's see. He pitched 19 yesterday. Yeah, I guess he hasn't thrown much less than Cade. Cade threw 50 in 2 days. Gaddis threw 39 in 2 days. But that's enough of a difference.
I mean, look, it's on the offense. Score some runs, and then you can go with whoever you want.
That's right. Ryan says Manzardo hit a home run on any other day. The wind killed that ball. Yeah, Zach mentioned that earlier. Correct. We were robbed of another home run. Evan 419, very little wind predicted for tomorrow, so that's good. 75 and sunny. Man, we're getting great weather for this time of year. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jonathan says, I smell a multi-homer game for Jose. Jose's playoff struggles continue, Zach.
He's been walking a lot, though.
True.
I think they don't want to give him anything.
Yeah. I mean, the Tigers are, and I get it, you know. And I think there's a sense, I know, well, I'm not going to say it, but there's like some people like, oh, Jose gets tight in the playoffs. And it's like, that's bullshit. He's not tight. He's just, you know, first of all, some of it's luck, right?
He laughs. If you ask if he ever gets nervous, he laughs. And he says, I mean, if you knew some of the stuff that he faced in the Dominican when he was a kid, like, that takes the pressure off.
Yeah, and I if I remember correctly, I'm going to look it up to make sure I'm not making this up. Like early in his postseason career, I feel like he had success. The last few years, as the lineup's gotten worse around him, there's often not a reason to pitch to him, and that affects him, especially in the postseason.
He was really good in the World Series. He had 3 doubles in 2020, that 2-game sample. Like, he's had some really good. His numbers overall are not good enough.
Right.
Because OPS is under 700, but
right.
He's had good series. It's just, like he was okay last year. I think he ended with like an OPS of 800, but I think because he didn't have like the big hit come through in key moments, that's what people remember. He needs that signature moment, and then I think that narrative dies.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just weird because people are used to other sports where the superstars are always superstars, and that's not the case here necessarily. I mean, Jose hit 2 home runs in the playoffs last year. He had an OPS of about 800 last year in the postseason. In against the Yankees in the ALDS, he was 8 for 20. He didn't hit any homers, but he was 8 for 20 in that series. Against the Yankees in 2020, I know it's the COVID year, he went 3 for 7 with 4 ribbies. In 2018, he was really bad against the Astros. 2017 against the Yankees, he was terrible. Like you said, the World Series, he had a home run. He was bad in that championship series against Toronto. He went 1 for 17 in that series. So, I mean, overall, he's got 678 OPS in the playoffs. That's bad. That's, you expect a lot more from him. He's got 4 homers in 182 plate appearances. I mean, it's not good enough, but he still has a chance. It's not over. Alex Rodriguez had been bad for many years until one postseason he wasn't bad.
Just takes one. We can't all be Brian Rocchio.
Yeah, that's right. Patrick says they'll do what they did today and walk him 3 times, make the other 8 guys beat him. And if the Guardians can do that, the other guys can do what they did in the 8th inning today, then they'll win. Because they're going to get good enough pitching most nights. Talking and grubbing media. Go Guardians. Let's win this game 3. 1980 rules. Should Jones have been on the roster? He's hurt, isn't he?
Yeah, he's out for the year. Tore his oblique off the rib cage.
He stunk anyway. I mean, John Kenzie stinks. So if they kick John Kenzie off the roster, is there anybody else worth rostering?
Another pitcher. You're going to need another pitcher next series.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't see any. I don't see any point of having John Kenzie on the roster. I don't know why they would play him, and they will. They'll play him against the lefty at some point, maybe, but I don't know. Devoid Archangel. How in the hell do major leaguers not know how to effing bunt? Okay. Evan 419 says he's asking if you like Love Island, and then says you seem like a Grey's Anatomy guy.
I've never watched either show.
Neither have I.
No, it's just stupid reality like Survivor, America's Got Talent, Masked Singer. I don't even enjoy it, but it's.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a little.
You watch The Bachelor?
I don't know.
Okay. I have never watched.
You can't do those like fake love shows. No.
I don't watch any of those shows. I don't watch a single show. The last show I watched on network TV was This Is Us.
Okay.
And before that, it was Parenthood.
Yeah.
And before that, it might be Seinfeld. I mean, I watched Modern Family for like the first couple of seasons. That's about it. I watch everything on the premium stuff. Earl the Pearl.
My laptop's about to die, just FYI.
Okay, here we go. We got 1 more minute. Earl the Pearl says, shout out to Bull and Zach. Great show. Thank you, Earl. And Terry Clark finally says, I just watched a video of Stephen Vogt last at bat home run as a player for the Oakland Athletics. Still amazing about that being your last MLB game. That is cool.
His kids announced him that day coming to the plate. Pretty cool.
Joey sent a super chat, but he didn't put anything in there, so I can't read it. Thank you, Joey I. Roman says Modern Family was funny. 1980 Rule says, yeah, thanks for the show, guys. Wonderful celebrating the win with you. And we're going to do it again tomorrow, folks. Make sure you join us again tomorrow. Again, a double dip right after the game. I'll be on my Bullpen podcast brought to you by Bet Rivers immediately following the game. And then 2 to 3 hours or so later, Zach will join me for the latest episode of the Ultimate Cleveland Guardian Show. That's tomorrow. Again, if there's 4 games tomorrow, the Guardians will play it and Tigers will play at 1 again. If there are 3 or less games tomorrow, the Guardians will play at 3:08 p.m. So we'll know maybe at the end of this Yankee game We shall see. It's 3-3 in the top of the 7th there. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks for tweeting or sending us messages. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. A lot of people watching today, so we appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next time tomorrow on the Ultimate Cleveland Guardian Show.